All right, good evening. Welcome to some Link to the Past ladder Open Plus Invitational Tournament. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Lana Bean. How are you doing, Lana?
Great, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So, you want to explain to anybody watching what exactly are we talking about when we're talking about Open Plus?
Open Plus is basically an open seed. Hello, $20. It is an open seed with starting pseudo boots, meaning that we can run, but we can't do much else with the boots. So, no bonking rocks, no getting trees whacked for items, no getting items off torches. We basically have boots without the actual function of boots bunking into stuff, basically. Otherwise, it's a basic open 7-7, and I believe that's about it.
Yeah, we also have the we're doing a little bit of last minute cropping, but we'll get it taken care of. Yeah, so we also have the hard item pool that SG Live uses, which means we're going to be capped at 14 heart containers. Most of those gotten through heart pieces, and unlike in the hard open mode in the current main tournament going on, if you skip a heart piece, you're not finding another one. So those heart pieces are a little more valuable in this mode than most of the hard mode that we've seen in the past.
Well, that's true. I have not played this mode in a bit and completely forgot about the hard item pool portion of this. So $50 found in the woods there. So not too bad. Good to have early bomb money in case.
Yeah, always nice to go in there with it. Ideally you want to have bombs and $50. Uh, uh, Not quite there yet, because if we buy bombs, we risk not being able to do bottle vendor. Teto decides to go ahead and save and quit to Link's house, so that maybe he'll go for the 50-50. Maybe he'll do South Shore first, or maybe he'll head over to Uncle
And
with
he
that
gets
sword.
yeah, rewarded with a sword there. Holy moly. We did get, of course, map checks from both runners. We have a crystals at both Eastern and Desert and a pendant at Hira.
Yeah, I do believe in. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the first match for these two. Um,
Take a look here. I believe Teto. Yeah, I want to say this is. Gosh, it says Teto is. It says 0-1 on the results.
okay, so somebody's played.
Yeah, I'm just getting used to reading this, but gosh.
Yeah, this is the last full round. So it'll be the last bit of round robin. The top two players out of this round will go on to face each other in a best of three. And Error and Humbug, the other two in this round.
Okay, we're getting a front of escape check from Teto. We're getting a well check from Relkin.
And we
Okay.
do, yeah, we're getting some bombs, so not so don't have to worry so much. Get that last 5 rupees from Relkin. He'll now be able to do the bottle vendor.
Yep, getting an early bottle, getting a sick kid check out of the way. Always nice to do before you leave Kakariko the first time. So I like the way Relkin is routing the Kakariko in general. Some people are hesitant to go into both the back of Lion's house and they're hesitant to go into the well without bombs, but really these places have bombs often enough. It's not too bad of a play.
Yeah, but it kind of hurts when you go in there and you just don't get a bomb in there. So certainly, I can understand why Tato decided not to go in here right away and decided to do. I don't think he was planning on doing Uncle Escape when he reset to Link's house. But the sword gave him the opportunity to just do it pretty easily, and I think that's why we're seeing that right now. Now, looks like he's not gonna save, and it looks like he's not gonna do Dark Cross. Could do it with the sword. It's not in logic, of course, but we didn't get. I don't think we got the map, and we definitely didn't get the small key. And right now, you don't really want to do that check when it's not guaranteed to get you something, unless if it's just a small key missing, then maybe you want to take it to the back of escape, but not really wanting to do that right now. It looks like from Tato, he's going to turn in this mushroom. I always
Yep.
say early fetch quest, late fetch quest. You follow them. The ones in the middle, Yeah, a little harder to figure out when to get to them.
And it looks like confirmation from Big Dunka. Teto is currently 0-1 in the groups, losing to Humbug. And this is Relkin's first match. So
Yeah. Yeah, shout outs to Big Duncan, not only setting up this restream, but also, you know, I mean, he's the ladder guy, you know? Like, none of this would be happening without him, so.
very true. Thank you so much, Big Dunka. Yeah,
Teto
I did.
resets the heart piece, no surprise, even though those heart pieces, again, more valuable in this mode. Not valuable enough to want to waste that mushroom just in case fake powder becomes a thing. As I said in a race earlier in the tournament, in the main tournament, fake powder very rarely pays off, but when it does pay off, it pays off big. And so just in case, you know, that's just not a good enough item to keep this early in the game. Unfortunately, Tato doesn't get the bombs over there in the 50-50 checks. Is going to see bombs here on the race game, but because his boots are not real, we can't bog to get over there and get those bombs that are just going to tease him as he runs back away from them.
Well, he's got the 110 to go ahead and get Bottle Vendor, or just buckle up and buy the 50 rupees or the 50 rupee bombs.
And more bombs. I didn't see that in Relkins. Okay, we got bombs and bombs, but we can't get them because no boots.
The game taunting Teto a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see him buy them. We'll do this check first, and then he'll buy some bombs or he'll just get bombs here. That works better.
And plus, he'll get more in the well as well, so it works. Apparently, this route works out pretty well.
And Relkin, having found the sword, is gonna do escape.
You're probably not going to have as much pressure to buy early bombs now because they do have that early sword, so they can go ahead and route in Mini Moldorm, use the bomb to get that. Ice Rod Cave, they have a bomb for that, so not as much pressure.
It's nice to be able to use bombs in Mini Moldorm even with the sword, but you don't need to worry about having enough. I mean, you're not going to be in a situation where you run out of bombs and not be able to finish it. The sword will work just fine.
So far, out of all their checks, they've got all of a couple of bombs, a mushroom, and a sword.
Yeah, I think South Shore is going to be the place to go.
Looks like it. Or if the seed could sneak something into the Saha Eastern area, we'll see.
Sure could. I don't see South Shore just being so dense, and we don't have anything drawing us to Eastern Palace like a bow or even a lamp to put the guarantee of 2 items in logic.
Well, I do wonder if either of these two will try and pull the trigger and go to west from the dam and get Agina out of the way.
It is a play that runners will make. You see it a little more often if the book shows up early, but not necessarily going to be seeing that here.
Oh, and I forgot to mention that these small magic decanters, the games attempt to give us half magic, so we're not getting that either.
Okay, Relkin says, I want to know what's over here in Dark Cross right now. I'm going to do it. And if it's a small key, we'll see if he continues all the way to the back.
Nothing wrong with it for sure. These runners know what they're doing. They got a sword. They can run right through the ropes, so should be able to get it checked.
Yeah, this room is probably the most dangerous room, but, you know, if you know those ropes are coming, so you just run through them or just swing a whole bunch through them. It is the small key, so Relkin is going to keep going.
Okay, should be interesting. As we said, though, can't bonk and open up these doors, so gonna have to use a bomb.
Yeah, and of course the hardest part about this is finding that key rat when we get to the last room.
There,
but yeah, Relkin has no trouble with it, though.
It's almost like he's done it before.
Perhaps he has.
Oh,
and a whole lot of nothing, and a moon pearl over on Tito's side. We are going to see, and some powder. So Relkin probably going to go ahead and do South Shore. Tato's going to save time later when he gets glove to do back of escape, because he's not going to ever have to do Dark Cross, because he'll know that small key is there.
Looks
And
like a
Relkin
big.
checking the Lake Hylia island sees that it's 20 rupees. Is actually going to go ahead and do Eastern first before South Shore. This could be fine because that Moon Pearl is only one piece of our Dark World progression. We don't have a glove. We don't have a hammer. We don't have anything to indicate Aga other than the sword that we have.
Yeah, it was a pretty good bomb throw. Taking out a couple of them. Oh, hello, hammer.
That is a hammer. That's one piece of the puzzle. And we are still missing the last piece. Now, that 300 rupees that Relkin just got is potentially interesting. Will allow him, if he so chooses, to do Zora after the South Shore checks when he gets there.
Ooh, looks like he's continuing into Eastern Palace.
Yeah, makes sense. You're already here. Eastern Palace is a crystal, so it'll probably be a double dip unless we find a bow in here.
And another thing Teto is doing is checking out Ice Rod Cave, but unfortunately with the pseudo boots, you once again cannot even water walk with them.
There is a lamp in Ice Rod Cave, so now we've got half the puzzle for regular Dark World access with that hammer, and we got half the 2/3 of the puzzle as far as an Aga play with that lamp showing up.
Ooh, this could be
Both
interesting.
on Tato's side, though. We haven't seen what's in Eastern yet, so.
Well, that means we have what, a Gena or Eastern or Mushroom at this point that could have either a second
We saw
glove.
Mushroom.
Oh, did we already see Mushroom?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to say it was Teto that turned it in. Yeah, he turned it in, and it was a piece of heart.
Got you.
And we're gonna see the Zora area. And none of this is in logic because we don't even have a glove to get to Zora.
Right. So progression-wise, we're looking at Eastern Palace here.
Nice blue mail.
Yeah,
You'll
3
turn
hearts.
that down.
Heck no, green potion as well. Not going to turn that down.
Yeah, the blue mail is going to be our cap. Are 2 mail upgrades placed, but we only can get 1.
And by that same standard, we have all of our swords placed, but we're capped at 3.
Broken still looking for items in Eastern. Gets a hook shot, which
Eastern, that's Death Mountain East.
if we could
lamp.
get there.
Oh, that's
We don't
true.
have a glove. We don't have a glove to get up there.
No, but we've got a lamp, which puts technically Rockin's next check in logic too.
Yeah.
What do you think? Lamp? Or, no, not lamp, pardon me, flute, or perhaps a glove?
Yeah, I'm hoping for a glove. We don't need to see Aga in these. Flute would still give us plenty of checks before this becomes an Aga seed. But the glove would both give us the mountain and give us Dark World access. Or we could get a cape, which, yeah, that's Aga in logic.
That's the thing. Okay, well, with the checks we have available, we know that this is an Aga seed unless Agena
Agena.
has something for us. Yeah.
Yeah, and if I don't know about you, but if I'm in this situation, I do not go all the way to Agena just on the off chance that it is the glove that gets me out of the Aga play.
I think if you're Relkin, you probably do the way Relkin's routed this. I think if you're Teto, you kind of give up after finding that cape. I don't think Relkin's done any of the South or
No,
South
he hasn't done
Shore
any of that.
checks. Yeah.
So for him, he's still missing the lamp, and in my opinion, betting on an Aga seed when you don't have the lamp is pretty silly because the lamp just might not show up. It might be, the Ice Rod Cave could have just as easily been a glove to get you Dark World access. In which case, not only are you wasting time doing Aga, you're wasting more time doing Aga because it's slow in the dark and dangerous in the dark, and yeah, it's just a big feels bad at that point. We'll see if he does. He's going to do the dam for sure. Most runners, again, go to the east after this, and so he'll get his lamp at that point. And then he'll have the decision to make. Oh, we do have powder in logic, but ugh. In
No
order
hammer,
to, it's a. Yeah, no, we have a hammer.
Do we?
Yeah,
Oh, we
Tato has a
do.
hammer. The hammer's
Okay.
in Mini Moldorm, so that is in logic. But man, that's so far out of the way.
Oh, that's 2 checks that are not close.
Yeah, I think I still just with a flute I would check it. Without
Oh,
a flute, it's okay. We are gonna get the Aegina play from Relkin.
yeah, broken
Before
Southwest.
I mean, he's gonna be forced to get to South Shore because he needs that hammer regardless.
Yeah, we'll get that hammer. We'll get that lamp. But if you can find a glove here, that's pretty
That
good.
would be really big. If this is a glove, that's actually pretty huge for Relkin because Teto I think does just get his cape and leave and bow to the seemingly inevitable. But it's Bombos, which could be useful. I mean, it's a nice to be determined.
We could
But
use
we
it.
don't know yet. Yeah, we can use. Yeah, actually, I mean, with only a fighter sword and what are we at? Still at 3 hearts. Tato at 4 hearts. For the Aga play, that Bombos is actually kind of nice to help out with some of those rooms when they get really bad. It's not very much fun to do Aga Tower with a fighter sword.
Looks like Relkin is preparing to go ahead and use it though, filling up on magic. So I think Relkin is expecting to find that lamp.
Oh, he's hoping to find the glove, but probably expecting to find the lamp. In
Absolutely.
his mind, he's gonna get the hammer here, and he's like, "Oh, now I'm 1 item away from regular Dark World access." Oh, so it's gonna be a glove, right? Gonna be a glove? No, it's not. It's gonna be your lamp.
And now
And we do,
that ray of hope with that hammer, that
I
just
know,
little bit of
we
hope.
and we do have some interesting choices after the Agaplay. Now, a lot of times I'll talk about one of the things you want to think about when you're deciding whether to do an Agaplay or not is what am I gonna do right after? Well, we have a hammer, so we can go south and do Hype Cave. And we have a hook shot, so we can go north. No, we can't. No, that's all we can do. No, we can go to. We have the hammer and the hook shot, so we can go to the west by hook shotting over the bridge.
I'd say
Won't be able to do catfish because no glove.
right. And you'll see most runners, frankly, go south for that Hype Cave check. You've got Hype Cave, Stumpy, Dig Game, and if you can by miracle find a mirror, K45.
Okay, so Tato did have the option to go to Dark Cross here. Has chosen not to. He's gonna find out that's gonna turn out to be a time save for him because that's a long way back. Of course, dying to these guards is not a time save.
And we do have a powder check
We're
from
gonna get
Relkin.
powder. Relkin really doesn't want to go do Aga. Again, huge if this is a glove, but if it's anything else, he's just gonna have to go do the tower.
All right, Magic Bat, what do you got? Oh.
Okay, so he's got his tracker is ahead of his tracker's ahead of his stream because that mirror popped up before he got the mirror. Relkin, you just slow down on your button clicking.
So
That mirror doesn't open anything.
good for Relkin in a way because you're gonna be able to go South Hype Cave. You're gonna be able to check everything, including K45 mirror. And then I guess save and quit.
I mean,
Gosh.
it depends on what you get, right?
Right. I mean,
So he's got his choices he still has the same choices that Tato has. It's just that the go south first is a better choice for him than is for Tato.
right. I mean, even North can work out because you do knock out
You get Graveyard Ledge for free.
Graveyard. Yeah, you don't get Catfish, so you're kind of orphaning that when you find a glove. But gosh, I mean,
Well,
obviously,
Relkin hasn't done any of the Zora area, so with that mirror, he knows that if he can get over there with flippers, he could do all that stuff at the same time. Or if he has a bow or whatever splash delete items he prefers, he could do all that stuff at once a little more efficiently.
true. Oh, and Teto dies on the
No,
climb.
oh, that's a really, really costly death.
Oh, red guards, they don't fool around.
No, and that's we kind of talked about this. If Relkin gets in trouble like that, he's got that bombo, so he can just go ahead and fire up. I think I'd rather have that than the extra heart container that Tato has.
And Teto has a slight advantage of having blue mail, but even that didn't save him from the guards, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that blue mail that he... of course, Relkin, on the other hand, down to half a heart. I mean, yeah, see, and there it is. Relkin's gonna just go straight to the bombos. Yeah, I guess you do that here. It's a tougher call here because you have the two guard caves, or the two guard rooms.
Right.
Yeah, chat suggesting that Tato was marking that Aga kill a little too fast, but Tato knows. I guess Tato marking that Aga kill a little too fast, but Tato knows that he has to do this, so. Or at least suspects. Like, I don't... careful. Oh, grab that fairy. Okay, there we go. We're good. We're good.
And apparently our stun prize is $5 today.
I mean, if we need money, it's not terrible. But definitely, right now, we wouldn't mind the fairy stun prize.
Those bats
or even just hearts.
Right? Those bats are trying to take hits for the red guard. Relkin's having a tough time getting through the room, but makes it through the room.
Yeah, now he's gotten through the worst of the rooms, and this room right here, I call it the stupid room because it's got like 3 really nasty enemies, and you just kind of run right past them, like why game?
Right, just
I feel like somebody forgot to put a kill enemy flag on that one.
Well, if they just put the guards on the left side of the room instead of the right, it'd be completely different.
Yeah, it'd be more difficult.
But instead, you just hold down left and you're to the door. All right, we're going to get dual Aga fights from both Teto and Relkin. These are both going to be the exact same fight for them. Unfortunately, we have no bug net, but otherwise, yeah, we're prepared.
Yeah, bug net's overrated.
True. So this will be very interesting, having Relkin with 2 extra checks in the Dark World available. And if one of them is the glove, that's pretty big. I don't see Teto going to check Magic Bat anytime soon, and the issue is that you're not going to have the chance to mirror because you need to get to the Magic Bat to mirror.
Okay, so a little explanation of the tracker. It looks like Relkin has auto tracking on, and it's just the tracker part of the stream is a little bit ahead of the stream part. Teto is tracking on his own, so he can click whenever he wants, and he decided to. I do the same thing. I know I'm gonna kill a boss. I'm just gonna mark it.
You don't think you're jinxing yourself?
Nope. Because I mean, what am I gonna do if what am I gonna do here if I don't kill Aga? I'm going right back into the tower, right?
True, and also shout out to Big Dunka for obviously recruiting 17 Care Bear stairs for the tracking. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, green pendant at Turtle Rock, reds at okay, reds at both.
Okay, so the Thieves Town being a pendant. Now, if I'm Relkin in particular, I'm going south because now Thieves Town's a pendant. I don't really need to rush it. Teto maybe as well. Yeah, it looks like they're both going south. If Thieves Town were a crystal, I might be more apt to go do that first because it is going to be a full clearable dungeon. And if it's a crystal, it's go get that crystal right away.
Well, we have green pendant to Turtle Rock, and that is kind of a little bit troublesome, but at the same time, why worry about it till you have access?
Green pendant Turtle Rock is terrible.
It is. It is.
We get an Ether Medallion. Okay, so that's a to be determined hype cave because we don't know if that Ether Medallion is going to be required or not.
True.
We'll give it points if Ether is the Mire entrance, and we will take away points if it turns out that Ether is the Turtle Rock entrance, especially if Turtle Rock ends up being a bust and we go in there. Get baited.
Shout outs to full heart containers, though. That's at least nice.
Yeah, we got 5. Yeah, 5 on each side now.
Okay, we're going to see if this mirror pays off for Relkin.
Yeah, it might be a while before Teto gets the mirror, and if these, once you orphan these mirror checks, it's really hard to come back to them. But it's just 300 rupees. Relkin not even going to bother with them. He's about to get 300 more rupees from Stumpy anyway. And the thing with the rupees like that, if for some reason you feel like you need rupees, it's not like you can't go back and get them. in this situation, you're not going to, but you know, it's you can just kind of take a mental note that if I'm really in trouble, that's where I can go.
Very, very true.
You know, with 995 rupees, even having not paid off Zora, that's going to be more than enough to finish the rest of the seed. Teto saving and quitting out of the race game because there was nothing there. Relkin probably going to do the same thing. I mean, he could mirror, but there's really not a whole lot that he can do from Kakariko anyway. So probably just going to have to grab. Oh, not even going to grab the heart piece. Save and quit.
Well, now you're back on the pyramid. Anyway,
Yeah, which is fine. Like in this situation where it's Tato having did he forget to check the ledge? That's funny.
I think he did, or forgot. Yeah, I saw. I think he got off the mountain a little bit quicker than Relkin, even though they killed Gan about the same times, or killed Aga, I should say, about the same time. So yeah, I think he forgot to check the pyramid first time out.
Okay, now this is a call. We're gonna see some pod from Tato. Not a huge fan of this. Like we don't even have progressive bows, so there's a good chance that pod is just gonna have nothing, and maybe we get bow locked immediately.
True, or it could be a jerk and end up having two bows and a glove. Who knows?
Relkin, you don't have boots. Where he realizes it before he actually tries to do the bonk. But yeah, that's what pseudo boots will do to you.
Fun fact, chat: pseudo boots. You don't really have boots. You got boots, but you don't have boots.
You got fast. You don't have boots.
Exactly. Only thing you can do other than dash with the boots is that you have a little bit of invincibility if you can time bouncing off of a wall and going through an enemy, like say a spike or something like that. But other than that, that's nothing. And we're bow locked.
Immediately bow locked, and it looks like Tato's gonna keep going. I mean, you got a bottle. I think he's got something in it. I don't know if he mimic clips otherwise.
I think green goo from the waterfall fairy.
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right, we're about to get a bumper check from Roken as well.
Yeah, I like this play on Tato's side a little bit better if it's progressive bows, because even though he is not going to find a bow. He's just not. Like the bow is don't grab the magic refill trolling Tato because he's got to use that bottle. If bows were progressive, then he'd have a chance of getting a bow locked bow here, and could then beat the dungeon. And as things stand, he cannot beat the dungeon. Guaranteed, there's no bow here because this is completely bow locked.
Right, and the only counter to that would be you're probably not going to be able to go mode pod anyway, so full clearing and leaving, it's not.
I mean, there could be something good here, like a fire rod would be a nice item here, because then you could go do Skullwoods right away. Where you see Relkin in Skullwoods right now, he can only do the checks, maybe get the items, but he's not going to be able to beat the dungeon.
And does Teto remember about the pseudo boots? Oh, he does. Okay, so he does not try and bonk across the gap, a common mistake with pseudo boots. All right, so we're going to get a big key chest check from Teto for the pod play, and the slightly more in logic checks from Relkin in Full Woods.
See, and there's a fire rod. So that's really, that's a good one. I mean, honestly, that's the best. I think that's the best thing you could find here if you're Teto, is that fire rod.
That's true. You're going to be able to clear Skullwoods, unlike Relkin right now. And meanwhile, Relkin may never go back or may not go to pod until getting a bow.
I mean, the fire rod's behind the bow, so the bow's got to show up. So, not in here, though.
Lots of viewable full hearts in the Dark World so far.
So I mean, I have no concern that Relkin is gonna get that fire rod. He is not gonna be able to go mode pod though, at least not as much of it as you might like.
Right, and there still could be other goodies here too. I mean, if you get a glove or something, could be worth it.
I do believe he got both items out of Skullwood, so he's not gonna be in any rush to go back there. Just once he's in go mode, just go ahead and finish it. It is a red crystal, so that is the one caveat. Is if you're thinking uh, big bomb play, then yeah, then you might maybe do it a little sooner. And I do wonder if Relkin's just gonna do all of Thieves Town because he's running out of logical things to do.
Yeah, could very well be where the logic is. And if you get something out of the front, whether it's a bow or a glove, you probably go ahead and just dip out.
Yeah. If he gets something that opens progression, like an ice rod, you're not leaving with because like well, it's not even progression. We don't hopefully even need that. But if we, yeah, you're right. If he gets a bow, I could see him saying, "Well, let's just go do Pot Eastern right now." If he gets a glove, then you suddenly have mountain axes. If he gets a flute, also mountain axes.
Well, and Teto currently doesn't even have reason to check magic. That, of course, for the mirror because you don't currently. Oh, hi,
Yeah,
glove.
like that. Okay, so now I change the statement. I don't think Relkin will finish Thieves Town right now.
Yeah. I think you're gone after front four, or maybe even front three if you don't get big key. Oh,
Okay, so we
okay.
have glove and glove in Thieves Town. If there was any doubt that this was an Agassi, that ends it right there. Relkin knows now, because he knows it's a logical Agassi at this point, but he doesn't know for sure that he couldn't have broken it with, say, a fake flipper check. Well, if he was worried about that at all, he has no need to be worried anymore.
Nintendo forgetting I don't have a glove. And I'm forgetting again, I don't have a
Oh
glove.
no, is
You're
he
not,
gonna go to Catfish?
you,
No,
you can't,
no, you
you
can't do
can't.
it.
Oh, he's
Oh,
going to
okay.
post shop. Okay.
He wants a red bottle.
All right. So Relkin has a bit of an advantage currently as well because he's got that mirror for blacksmith checks as well as up on Death Mountain. You do have the floating island check as well. Whereas Teto is likely to go into Thieves Town, get both those gloves out, still have no reason to go back to check Magic Bat yet, and will probably go ahead and just full clear Death Mountain.
Yeah, that mirror is gonna be pretty elusive for a while. And in the
Especially if you,
meantime, like every time Relkin does one of these either mirror checks or kind of like the Smith chain isn't a mirror check, but it's kind of a pseudo mirror check.
right,
Like it's just so much faster. He just saves time that Tato is just gonna lose. And once Relkin gets a bow, he will get that fire rod. So Tato's biggest advantage is not gonna last as long as I mean, we don't know how long it's gonna last, but his biggest advantage is he's just gonna be able to full clear this dungeon right now. And
right.
Relkin's already cleared the items out of here, so he once he gets that fire rod, he's just gonna be able to go straight to the back and do it very quickly.
And another potential advantage for Teto is if you go up Death Mountain, you find nothing but Samaria, and you've got Ether for Turtle Rock access, and that's possibly a little bit more of an advantage.
And depends on if there's anything in Turtle Rock.
True. I mean, obviously, the Fire Rod is not even logical at this point, so the only checks which would be able to be done in Turtle Rock if you get a Samaria would be the left check and either get stopped there or go further with small keys.
We know we won't. Yeah, we won't. We know we won't be finding a bow on the fire rod locked areas of Turtle Rock.
Right.
We also know we're not getting. I mean, we've seen all the items. I'm pretty certain, but even if we hadn't, we'd know that we're not getting a bow in the back of Skullwoods.
Right. And it's hard to say what kind of progression will be up on Death Mountain to push Teto elsewhere as opposed to going back and checking.
He's not going to that
bat.
bat for a while.
Right. Nobody likes to do blacksmith with no mirror, and yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah, you just got too many other good locations to go to first. And we are going to get our first look at the mountain over here on Relkin's side.
Othula as well won't have anything progression-wise, but does have a crystal, and a red crystal at that.
Yeah, and Tato can do Ice Palace. Actually, they'll both be... Yeah, Relkin can also do Ice Palace with that Bombos.
Right. But do you expect them to go there without Samaria?
No. No,
Or I guess
I mean not
flippers.
now.
Right.
Um, yeah, we also need flippers to put it in logic, so definitely not something you're thinking of doing at the moment. But it's in the back of your mind. Oh, there's a sword. Yeah, you probably want that, Relkin. I mean,
And if
you could take the gamble that you're not gonna you'll find the other two swords, but I think that's a bad gamble. So just take the time, go grab the master sword. It'll make things better in the short term and even more better in the long term. There are 4 swords placed, but we will be capped at temper. The last sword will turn into a green 20.
and Teto picks up first crystal right about 35 minutes and is also glad he picked up that red potion. Mothula was not playing nice.
Yeah, Mafia can do that, and with a fighter sword and not a whole lot of magic, your best weapon there is the hammer, and the hammer is finicky on that fight. Finicky in general, but
Oh, Relkin with a play to Spike Cave.
yeah, I think this is a good idea. You do your Spike Cave now, and then you do your East Death Mountain afterwards. I mean, with Hera a pendant, I see no reason to rush over there.
Oh no, oh
If
no.
he's fine.
Oh, sorry,
Where
didn't mean to interrupt you.
so yeah, I mean, you might if you get nothing on the mountain. I think Relkin meant to save and quit. Yeah, this is going to be the I forgot I have Mirror and Aga killed save and quit that we've all done. Actually, from Spike Cave, it's just kind of a
A thing.
yeah, it's just a hazard. You know, you can't get around it very easily. It's not going to be better to try and get out of Spike Cave and Mirror.
I'd say the only slightly better routing that Relkin could have done is gone and cleared out Hera, then gone and cleared out the
Yeah,
Spike Cave to go east
and
after.
I think if it were a crystal, I think that's what you do. But because it's a pendant, I don't see him going into Hera unless he doesn't find anything else up here. And then it's like, well, I'm already up here and I haven't found anything, so let's take a look.
True. And what if you find nothing but flippers up here? You're feeling pretty good about that mirror.
Yeah. Okay, so we are gonna get he's gonna set a mirror portal right in front of the Super Bunny Cave, and so now he'll do Paradox Cave, fall back down, then enter this portal and go up through Super Bunny.
Oh,
I like this routing a lot. And that's the reason you do Spike Cave first, is now he doesn't have to think about the old, do I do Spike Cave or do I do Spiral Cave? And they'll just do Spiral Cave and call it happy.
true. Plus, you do get your full magic refill at the Super Bunny anyway.
Yeah, and then that's the reason to do Spike first and instead of Spiral first is you can use that magic, get the refill, and be good. We get silver arrows, so it is not the bow.
Pretty sure you can't throw those at the mimics,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
why not?
Oh,
Why
hi,
can't you?
flippers.
Why can't you just walk up to the eye statue in Pod and just jam a silver arrow
I
right into
concur.
it?
All right, VTorp, where are you? We got suggestions for you. All right, that being said, we did get flippers out of Paradox, so Swamp Palace is now very much a thing for Relkin.
Yeah, and ice as well, but again, yeah, no Cane of Samaria. Icebreaker, I mean, it's now 2 years. It's hard to believe it's more than 2 years old. But it just changed Ice Palace so dramatically. In this situation, pre-Icebreaker, I'd probably go do Ice first, even with the Bombos and not the Fire Rod, but without Cane of Samaria, I'm waiting on it.
True. Gosh, I think if I'm Relkin in this situation, yeah, of course check your TR medallion just in case, but I go check the front part of Hera at this point, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, doing the 2 checks on the main floor, well, the basement cage and the main floor makes a lot of sense. And we'll see what Teto decides to do after getting these mitts out of Thieves Town.
Further away from Magic Bat, unfortunately. Not much going on out of Hookshot Cave. Looks like just
a whole lot of
money.
nothing.
Yeah.
Whole lot of nothing in Hookshot Cave.
So all we've gotten up here is flippers, which is somewhat of an advantage for Teto because
Remember how we said we downgrade the ether? We downgrade Hype Cave if it's ether for Turtle Rock. Yeah, we just downgraded Hype Cave.
okay, fair enough. High Cave was a full heart container out of 10 today. No, no
Now,
ether.
now, now we can bring it back up a little bit if Meyer turns out to be ether as well.
True. Here we are nearing the 40-minute mark, and one person has one crystal that's out of logic.
Yeah, yeah, that's all we got.
All right, looks like we got a back of escape check coming from Teto. Did not check Dark Cross for that small key, so Relkin kind of broke that logic, but didn't get too much out of it.
Oh,
Oh,
Relkin is not only is Relkin gonna finish Hera, he's gonna do it the long way. I kind of like that if you're gonna do it, make sure you get all the items. There's a very good chance. There's two-thirds of a chance that one of the items is gonna be in the big chest, since we got a dungeon item in that first check. So you're already doing a pendant dungeon. And then if you leave an item orphan behind in that pendant dungeon, it would feel really bad to go back in here. So this makes a lot of sense that if you're going to do it, you just do the whole thing.
right. The only reason you have to come back up here later would be either the book or having forced Turtle Rock dipping.
Yeah. And without the Cane of Samar, you're not doing that right now, unless it shows up here.
And you've got a mirror too, so you don't need a death warp or anything like that.
And yeah, Teto, as we expected, going to head up and do all these mountain stuff things as well. He won't be able to do everything quite as efficiently without a mirror. And we'll see if he does any of Hera as well. And you can still Hera pot here.
Well, and logic is kind of going to mess with Tito a bit too, because you've got, well, I guess not really, because you don't have Bombos either, so the only logical access to Ice Palace after you get flippers that you know would be that out of logic Fire Rod.
Yep. Okay, so it was the item in the big chest, but you don't have to ever think about it again. And we get a boomerang, and Relkin says, "You know what? I'm just not gonna finish this boss because as far as I know, Ped is gonna be nothing.
Yep, we're good. Get on out of there.
So we're gonna see Spiral Cave.
Realizing that Portal is in just about the worst spot you could hope for when it comes to Spiral. Okay, Teto probably happy to see that Master Sword there.
See what he decides in terms of if and when to do Hera. All right, so that's it for the mountain. Just some bombs there in the last check.
Okay, so I guess Swamp Palace into Ice Palace is your next best bet.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
It's got to be Bow in one of these places coming up pretty soon. I don't see much else that would give him good progression. A Flute, I guess.
Flute gets you, yeah. Flute gets you Mire and Desert.
Yeah.
Of course, we might need actual boots for Desert.
And we got Relkin not even trying to get that shield eaten. My gosh.
What are we doing here? Oh, we got a shovel. So Relkin's gonna go quickly check that shovel.
You know, no better opportunity. You've already cleared out K45, so now or last location.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a good big prize. I'd accept that.
I mean, it's not progression, but you know, it's gonna make Swamp so much better.
Swamp, Swamp and Ice Palace both.
Yeah, that Tempered Sword, especially Relkin only on a Bombos for the Ice Palace. Definitely gonna be more important for him. Because Fire Rod, Cold Stare, it's pretty nice actually.
I agree. These runners are still reasonably low on health, and Relkin has not done any of the flippers checks, so once again he's on green mail, which is making Ice Palace a little bit less tempting, but I imagine you're probably doing flipper checks before going in.
You do it before or you do it after. You're definitely going to route that in relatively soon. Might find the other mail upgrade around here somewhere anyway.
True. I mean, you can get your blue mail upgrade before going in, or you can get your blue mail and kind of regret after completing
Yeah,
Ice Palace.
yeah, because there's nothing else in the Zora area. And if Relkin's worried all about catfish, that he would definitely do Ice Palace first, because then he would want to route catfish in with the Zora area.
I think Teto was a little bit confused by that dead
Wow.
rock.
And there's the bow.
Okay.
So that is Kane, maybe Boots, and maybe Quake for a no mode. We
Yeah.
don't know yet whether Desert's Boots locked. We don't know yet what the medallion for Meyer is. Oh, and we need a flute. Yeah, did I say flute? We need a
You
flute.
did.
Good. I did not forget that.
So we know Broken is going to go pretty quickly into the Pod Eastern combo. So going to get that Fire Rod.
Yeah, I think with that bow in Swamp, I think you do Pod Eastern before you go into Ice Palace. It's so many checks. It's 2 crystal dungeons you can do. I mean, yeah, you've already done most of Eastern, but you know, with that mirror, you can combine them in really nicely.
Oh, Teto deciding not to do the basement, won't get the big key, will not get the second item. We know that the second item is bad, but Teto's probably going to go kill
Yeah, I think.
Trolldorm.
Yeah, he'll. You know, this is one of those. This is a weird situation where, and I'll have to take a look and see if there's even anything that could be on Ped at this point. But if it is Ped, then that would be advantage Teto because he's going to have this kill.
Right.
But if it's literally any other situation, then you know he's just going to lose time for doing this, and he's not even going to get the item.
Now, what are we
Okay,
looking at? Flute. I am not
Boots,
Ice Rod, obviously.
flute, boots, Quake.
Yeah.
Kane can't be on there because Turtle Rock is a pendant. We don't even know if we need boots and Quake, so like those could be there, and we just don't care.
Right.
I mean, as much as we love boots, as much as what we love having actual boots, you're not, even if this were not pseudo boots, you're not pulling Ped for them
Probably
unless
not.
unless they're hard required.
Right. Desert big key on the torch or GT big key on the torch. You're not worrying about it.
Right. I mean, and you know some of the small key on the torch situations as well for desert.
That's true.
Because you could have a logically boots locked desert and a logically boots locked GT, but you know with those small keys sitting on torches, but that is not hard locked.
Okay, about to find out what everybody's favorite checks in Swamp Palace left side are.
Yeah, I'd be skipping these because I just do that. We got arrows.
And in this case, would Tracy regret her decision? We're about to find out.
Nope. Well,
To be
not yet.
determined.
We should be determined. We gotta see what that big key is gonna give us.
Right. Just like our Bumbos, just like our Ether, to be determined.
I mean, to be fair, it's one of those things where I very rarely will go left side first in a non-keys mode.
I go left side if I'm more.
Hey, it's the last sword. Always a sword in
third.
the swamp.
Indeed.
As long as I got the dig spot, I would be perfectly happy to have skipped that.
There you go. I mean, even if you wait on, I mean, I guess it won't matter because you won't know what's where, but yeah, it's good. I think my opinion is if you are more than one item from go, you go left side, just no question, because
Real
hi,
boots.
Real boots.
Yay!
Simply because if there are 2 items over there, you know you're going to go over there to check them anyway most of the time, so it's hard.
Yeah, but I'm not afraid to leave that location, so I will usually do the back first. And especially if I don't have a big key, I'd rather take the chance of having to go to the left side and grab a big key to go to the big chest if it is the thing I need to go back for, than get to Argus, get a big key on Argus, have already done left side and have to go back in for the big chest. Other people will say exactly the opposite, so.
Well, Relkin and both Teto and Relkin will have less to worry about with those boots. Pretty quickly, Teto's going to be forced into checking that magic bat, but that'll be tough. Do you check magic bat? I guess you just check it after you grab the blacksmith, but yeah.
Yeah. That'd be the time to do it. He could just do it by itself. He also has, but he's got Ice Palace to do.
That is true. A very logical, well, not logical to him, Ice Palace, I guess.
Yeah, it's not gonna get him. Yeah, it's not gonna get him his bow. And the bow is behind the mirror, so yeah, the mirror that he needs to get at Magic Bat. And it looks like Relkin's just gonna run to wherever he's gonna go.
Well, we know we're not doing Pyramid Fairy.
Nope, can't do that yet. Yeah, I mean, he could have saved and quit to the pyramid, and maybe that's faster. I actually don't know.
Well, he's going to get rewarded going to Pod Eastern probably before going to Ice Palace simply to get that Fire Rod.
I do like this routing in of the man under the bridge. It's the most efficient way to do this check, and it's a terrible check.
It is. Like, the only way you can make it okay-ish is if you water walk over here, but not many people do that and are willing to lose their water walk and have to swim to the rest of the checks.
Yeah, I'll do this in a water walk if I plan on ending it here. I'm not a fan of doing the water walk here and then fake flippering for the Zora checks because it's just slow.
And Teto picking up another red potion. We'll see what he plans on doing with that. Ice Palace, that's what.
Yeah, this is the Ice Palace play. What could we find here? We could find a Cane of Samaria here. That's about it.
Could find a flute, maybe?
Yeah, could find a flute.
Could find an ice
Could
rod.
find Quake.
It's true. We've just missed what? We've already checked all of Eastern except the boss. I think. Have we?
Yeah, I think we have an item left. Yeah, they were in Eastern very early. Both runners.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Both trackers on them say one item left. So yeah, we've got one check left.
According to Tato's tracker, there is an item left in Pod.
Okay, so
we'll get to see that on Relkin's side.
Yeah.
And if Duncan's here, he maybe can confirm this, because it is not legal to use auto trackers for dungeon item count. So I assume that Relkin has to click those manually.
Most people, I see most people just kind of click off as many as when they're done, but
yeah.
there are a few out there that'll just update it as they find items just to make sure they don't forget.
Every once in a while I'll try to update as I find items because I don't use auto tracking. And it never lasts. So usually, yeah, when I leave, I'll figure out how many, whether I leave from being the boss or leave from without being the boss. I just, do it all at once. And we are going to get to see an Ice Palace bomb jump. As I always like to say, PSA, you still need to know how to do this. Because you do not want to have to do Ice Palace, the original developer intended way, if you don't have Cane of Samaria. So this is, I think this is still the most, Icebreaker close second, but I still think this is probably the most important thing to learn when you're starting out on randomizer. Is this bomb jump.
Cannot disagree with that. I cannot stress that enough. And it's not really a difficult trick to learn. It's really going to take a good portion of people 15 to 20 minutes of learning it. Just get your practice ROM.
Yeah.
Save right at the beginning and just practice for 10, 15 minutes. You'll be good to go.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is that once, it's not the easiest bomb jump out there, but once you learn that one, the easier bomb jumps are easier to learn because you learned a more difficult one.
Very true. And just like that, though, Relkin does pick up a second crystal at about 53 minutes.
And gonna do pod. Now this will be a full clear. Not gonna be able to go mode. Will get his fire rod out of this.
The point from chat saying serverless Ganon is as important. I don't necessarily think so, because your first seeds are going to be tempered, or pretty much if you're playing on the easier modes, you're going to have your butter, you're going to have your silvers. I think I'd say it's important for racing. It is. Once you get comfortable killing Ganon, you get good at it, then you start learning the serverless, I think, pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think for just learning in the first place, I think silverless, the worst case scenario is you can get the hint that says, oh, hey, silverless, you can get the hint and you can follow it from there. My impetus for finally learning silverless, and this was months before I ever entered a race, was the first time I had silvers on PED, I'm like, yep, gotta learn it. And that was in version 30 that didn't have progressive bows, so It wasn't like it was a bow that I might have to get. No, it was silvers.
That was me in qualifier number 1 for the tournament. I was like, okay, fine, I'll learn Mimic Clip.
I think a lot of people learn Mimic Clip from that qualifier.
Pretty sure that's accurate. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, it takes like 10 seconds. Why didn't I learn this before? All right, fine, that's cool. All right, so right to the back of pod for Relkin does not have that fire ride yet, but this routing wise is fine. He'll come right back in.
Yeah, as long as he remembers to go back in. I have definitely seen races lost to not remembering to go back in this situation.
And Dunka did confirm about the auto tracking you mentioned earlier.
All right, we're gonna. I think have we gotten all the checks from Teto? Because I haven't really seen anyone go nuts about items.
I only saw a heart piece so far, so I'm pretty sure there are still items here. Oh,
He's
that's a
still
20.
opening chests, so there must be. That might have been the last one there. And if Relkin was thinking of not going back in, there were a couple of chests there that he could see that are not opened.
Well, according to Teto's tracker, all the items are open, but at the same time, he also clicked Ganon as he went in the tower, so...
Oh, yeah, the Aga.
Oh yeah, Guitar, he just knows he'll have it full cleared, so this could
Can
be
we
a
just
thing.
click Ganon and just be done? Is that...
Good point. Dunka, is that a thing? Could they win? GG?
Okay, just a blue boomerang on Helmasaur.
It looks like Fire Rod comes in good use for Cold Stare, but otherwise...
Fire Rod is really nice for Cold Stare.
Oh yeah, that's butter damage right there. And you could knock them up into one of the corners pretty easily to go ahead and get your shots out, and if you choose to do so, you learn that little glitch where you get to hit the fire shell or the ice shell an extra time if you have sword beams.
Of course, no small keys means he still can't... Relkin still can't get the one he needs. But this will be a small key, and he'll just mirror straight on out. Now, the hope was that that would not be a small key, and then you would know that the big key chest was a small key locking a small key. But, of course, the game tells us differently. Relkin.
Right?
Oh, he's going to do this last. Oh, just don't forget it.
That's what matters. I mean, technically, he's
There's
not really...
absolutely nothing else in the back here.
Yeah, he's not losing a ton of time, probably
Yeah,
20 seconds.
as long as he goes back and gets the big key chest, he's fine. If he doesn't, then he's in trouble. Now, even if he had done the big key chest first, before going to the back here, he's still going to the back here. Like, there's still items here, and he's still going to want to get those. We're going to get a big bomb check from Teto.
And Dunka's giving us confused eyes. I don't think he's going to fly with that Ganon click.
Yeah, I don't think so.
The trackers never lie, right? All right, it's never lost a race for somebody that, you know, clicked an item being like, that's my last item, we're done here. And yeah. All right, big bomb. At this point...
Could be Kane, could be Quake.
Yeah, at
Those
this
are the
point,
things that are outstanding. It could be Flute. Those are the things that we're missing. Now, again, we don't know if we need Quake.
We are really out of locations here almost, so...
Yeah, Kane and Samaria there makes a lot of sense.
That is not good.
That's gonna keep him... Oh, then Quake! Okay, so that's no mode minus Flute.
So,
this is a small key that Relkin's gonna pick up.
This is not good for Teto.
Okay, Relkin does realize that this last item is sitting in the big key chest. Do you...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it opens up Turtle Rock, but for him, since he doesn't have the bombos, he's looking for mirror and he's looking for bow. So he's got to know the bow cannot be in Turtle Rock.
Right. He's got to also know by now that his mirror has to be readily available somewhere. I mean, he's got flippers, and the dungeon he just cleared was sequence broken. So that Samaria was sequence broken for him.
Right. And this has got to be Ice Palace for Relkin. I don't know where else you go. Okay, maybe he's doing Catfish and Zora first. And if you remember, it's like you can a really nice way to route this, and we might see this from Relkin, is to go ahead and do Catfish, then you do the Zora area, and then you hop into the little whirlpool and go straight over to Ice Palace from there, since we don't have a flute to get there faster.
So the good news is for Teto is this is probably a required Turtle Rock. The downside, the
It
downside
could be. Yeah,
at
it
this
could
point,
be.
what else do we have?
Yeah, back of Thieves Town?
That's true. Thievestown would put Teto in the region of that magic bat. Oh gosh. So many strings keep pulling Teto in different directions. And Thievestown being a pendant does not help.
Okay, Relkin finally gets his blue mail. And we'll get himself a nice magic refill, which, you know, for going into Ice Palace, that's a nice refill to have.
And of note, Teto also tossed a bottle into the water or the pyramid fairy, getting blue goo.
Yeah, that's a really good one. We are going to see Ice Palace before the rest of Zora. Which actually makes a lot of sense because then Relkin, if he wants to do the flippers checks right after this, he still can. And he can just do the other two and save and quit out of the actual Zora check.
Okay, so I almost fully expect to go ahead and find a flute here. The issue is the flute locked behind that mirror?
The flute is locked behind the mirror. Anything in here is locked behind the mirror because the mirror locks the bow, locks the fire rod, which locks the pyramid fairy check, which locks, at least for Teto. I forget where Bombos was.
Oh, that's true. My brain did not go back and logic that far.
This is a chain. Where was Bombos? Was it a mirror check? I mean, it almost has to be, right?
Was that a Gina?
Oh, it was a Gina. Okay, so, yeah, so behind the mirror / Bombos.
Well, I guess the big question is the flute locked behind the mirror? So is Mimic
Yeah, you were
Kid
thinking of
gonna
Mimic Kid,
have
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which would be really unfortunate. Oh, that's Desert Palace.
Well, that'll get Bombos. So
You know, if I were Teto right here, I mean, you're probably, since you can't really finish this dungeon, I might walk out of here. No, wait, you can't. Never mind. Without the mirror, you can't check that right away. That is a terrible check for Teto.
oh no.
Like Relkin, when and if he comes here, like he could see. Oh, I got a book. I'm at the very opening of Turtle Rock. I don't have an ice rod, so there's a good chance that I just can't finish this. And if I
Right.
have, and in which case I would be in a very bad position to go check the book. I could just, you know, mirror out, leave, go check the ether tablet, and then go right back in.
Right, so this could be good for Teto, say if the flute is on Laser Bridge and Relkin dips out after getting that book. But so far, with the few amount of checks we have, progression's either here in general via that book or something else, or back at Thieves, like you said.
Yeah, we are running out of things to do, and without the ice rod, we can't even clear this dungeon. I mean,
Right.
you know, absolute worst case is, you know, ice rod sitting somewhere dumb, and we need to actually kill Trinex.
Right. But at this point, with so few checks left, Ice Rod could very well just be in GT.
Yeah, I mean that'd be ideal. You don't ever have to worry about killing Trinex.
With that book, you do have an excuse to go to the Kakariko area, maybe check Ped. I mean,
I'm not sure I'd really worry
yeah.
about Ped unless I found an ice rod.
True.
At least if I'm Teto, since I've already done Skullwoods. Relkin can go finish Skullwoods anytime he wants, and he could use the Skullwoods play as an excuse to check the Ped. And in fact, I mean, that's going to be his next play, because that's going to give him Pyramid Fairy. And he's done most everything else. He won't have a Cane of Samaria to get him sucked into Turtle Rock yet.
Nope, you're going to be forced to go to that pyramid, get your Samaria, go into TR to get your book / question mark. Yeah, at least that book will get Teto that Bombos medallion, so that's good news for him.
Yeah, we still don't know if the Bombos medallion is going to be hard required.
That's
Certainly, logically gets his Ice Palace and logically gets his Cane of Samaria.
right.
No, it doesn't. Cane of Samaria is, yeah, this is all still behind Fire Rod. Yeah, neglected the fact that you do need a Fire Rod to kill Moth to get the to get the other red crystal.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, like this is, I mean, yeah, could still be that flute though.
Your logic brain is working much better than mine tonight.
It's not working fast enough.
Okay, laser bridge from Teto. What do we got? A couple of blueberries, a bonk. Ugh. That book is looking pretty good right now.
And nothing,
Oh
absolutely
gosh.
nothing. And I mean,
Literally.
he can check Ether Tablet. It's a terrible check at this point. Can't check Bombos though.
Right. This is only bad for Teto, I guess, if Mimic Cave has our flutes or
I mean, if Mimic
something.
Cave has the flute, that's really bad. Um, if the book is significant, that's really bad. He's gonna go do desert right now.
Right.
Probably get his Bombos out of Vegeta. And we'll find out whether or not we can even clear desert. Relkin, of course, has the boots because he got those in Swamp Palace, so he's going to be able to clear desert.
Okay, Relkin, what do you go to now? Skullwoods, I
I
presume?
don't think he has anything else that he can do. Yeah, save and quit to Sank. This has got to be Skullwoods.
Well, Mothula's gonna melt on his side. Got that tempered sword. Pseudo
Uh,
butter sword, if you will.
yeah, King's Tomb. He'll do the boots checks here first.
Okay, good job, Relkin. You have the boots this time.
Yeah, and you know, this is gotta be just as easy to forget these as it would be to remember them. You know, just easy to do to forget these, even a thing, because you've had your pseudo boots the entire time, as it was to do what he did earlier, which was almost try to do that bonk with the pseudo boots.
Oh, tablets. Relkin's gonna have tablet options too.
In Relkin's case, he can route his Bombos tablet really nicely into desert, and he can also he can check his path to checking Ether Tab is a lot nicer because of that mirror.
True.
Whether it be whether he does it after the first check, those first couple checks of Turtle Rock, or whether he does it, you know, just after he finishes Turtle Rock, because you know the getting up to that area with the mirror is just so much faster than with the hook shot.
And we are not boots locked in desert, so far
We are logically boots locked. We are not
we
hard boots locked.
right. So, oh gosh, now Teto kind of has some bad things that could happen. So far, the boots have not been needed via Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb.
There is an item on the right side though. So
There
if that
is.
item is your flute, he's not getting it anytime soon. And
Right.
Relkin is just gonna be able to do this with the book when he gets it.
He will. He'll have the boots checks. He'll have the book checks easily doable. Got the mirror, can check Bombo's tablet as well before even desert. Okay, so Relkin's definitely looking a little bit better here.
And we've already gotten both items out of the front, so Relkin just goes to the back.
Yeah, just going to be a quick clear. Got to imagine his next check, like you said, it's pretty much going to be Pyramid Fairy.
I guess he still has those two Zora checks left, but I imagine if you're doing this now, you're doing this because your plan is to check Pyramid Fairy.
Most likely.
Moth, please get off the spikes.
That is not behaving.
There we go.
There we go. Mothula. Why you gotta be that way?
All right, Relkin gets his crystal, has the mirror out so that he does not spawn on the pyramid.
Maybe gonna get.
Could
Oh
check
wait,
pad. I mean, you're right here. If you're ever gonna check pad, this is when you're gonna do it.
no, no book yet.
No, good point. Can't. Yeah, you literally can't check pad here, because the book is behind the cane, which is behind the red crystal.
Oh gosh, no good way to check the pedestal. And like you said, without Ice Rod, there's just it's not looking like it's something we need to do. But Ice Rod could be at Mimic Cave or Brightside Desert to go to Turtle Rock for something. I don't know. There's too much that
Yeah,
could
I mean,
happen right
Tato's
now.
just running out of things to do. He's gonna probably get to that. I'm trying to think what else he has at this point. This might be the powder check finally.
Either Powder or Blacksmith, save and quit, and then Powder before turning to
Yeah,
Blacksmith.
yeah, I could see either one. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so head to the Dark World. So this is he's gonna at least grab the Smith first.
And it looks like Relkin did a nice job of the bomb dupe.
Also, with Aga killed, this does make this check a little bit better.
Much more bearable. Unfortunately for Teto, it did that whole chain without the mirror, so wasn't able to take advantage of the Aga kill.
And there's that Cane and that Quake for Relkin. So he is now just a flute away from go mode.
Yep, next up,
Rock, I guess.
Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I don't know that he has anything left either. The interesting question again is what is he going to do with that book? And of course, what's at Mimic Cave?
So definite advantage to Relkin at this point, just from sheer coverage. And the issue is that this mirror is going to unlock a lot that Teto's already ran by. So K45, Graveyard Ledge,
Yeah.
and Mimic Cave, worst case scenario. Desert is going to be unlocked when he finds those boots, or the desert checks, the right side. So there's going to be a lot of scattered options for Teto, unfortunately.
I mean, you're going to go do the mirror first, I think.
Oh yeah, you're gonna. I think your first.
I mean, your first stop is Swamp. You'll get your bow. You might get a sword.
You can put in an argument for K45 into Swamp, but that's about it.
Okay, here we go, Relkin, going into Turtle Rock. Yeah, and yeah, this is Big Dunka making a good point in chat, and Teto already 0-1. It is possible to advance with a 1-2, but it takes A, two other players going to 1-2, and B, having the better differential in your losses. So not a really good situation for Teto, because even like he really needs this flute to be in a spot that's gonna take Relkin a really long time to get to, and I'm not sure what location that would be. Because even finishing, he'll probably finish up the seed, but he's gonna have. I mean, the differential is not gonna be good. I don't know what his differential is in the first race. Now, all that said, we did have. I think in the first round there were two groups that had 3 1 and 2 players, where one of the 1 and 2s moved on.
It's like
so it certainly can happen.
I'm seeing a time difference in the first loss of 6:45.
Yeah, that's not good, especially if we're looking at a similar time difference in this game. But if the other runners going 1-2 end up with forfeits, then things could happen.
Well, Antenna's going on the right path. Got that mirror and about to go into Swamp Palace. Going to get the bow and the boots and a sword.
Okay, Relkin is going to keep going. Most interesting part of this is what's in Mimic Cave, because we know there's nothing but trash in the rest of Turtle Rock.
Okay, and Teto's third sword is the dig spot, so going to find that 4 sword, just like Relkin in Swamp Palace, big chest.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
go left
Tato
side.
might be incentivized to just skip left side at this point. He knows, like now that he's got that late mirror, I'd be very worried about that late mirror. So he'd be incentivized to try and cut a few corners, and this is a corner that he can definitely cut because we know there's nothing there. We are gonna get a Bombos tablet check first.
Which is something we have not seen.
Yeah, this is a new one. And just 5 rupees.
Good collar, just not quite the shape we wanted.
Yeah, not at all the shape we wanted.
Okay, Tato's making the good call. Not that there's a whole lot else to do,
Yeah,
but
I mean, he could go up to Graveyard Ledge,
oh,
but yeah, this is the thing to do. And Graveyard Ledge probably dead to him, honestly.
I would say at this point, yeah, you're gonna rush everything like you said. Best play is probably just go and skip left side swamp, go straight to the back, and go from here to. That's the
No,
big
he's
question.
got the bow. Well, he's got the bow,
Oh.
so he'll get the bow. So that'll give him Pod Eastern, and even though that's no items, it's something he has to do anyway. And the nice thing about a play like that is it gives you time to think about what your next move is, rather than trying to figure out what it is right away. Okay, big check right here is Mimic Cave or Flute.
If it is flute, this is not good for Teto.
Teto gets a bow, just a piece of heart.
Whew, okay.
So what do we have left? We have the right side of desert.
Yeah.
We have Ether Tablet.
Mhm.
We still haven't seen all the Zora area. I still haven't seen the ledge or Zora. Both runners have just done the waterfall fairy.
Is that true?
I believe that is.
Wow.
But yeah, it's really interesting the way this seed turned out. Relkin trying to avoid Aga. At least I assume he was trying to avoid Aga. Doing both the Jita check for Bombos that was useful, and the magic bat for a mirror. Couldn't avoid the Aga play, but that mirror, he's really used that to great effect. Teto doing that check very, very late. And instead, sequence breaking pod for a fire rod, and everything has been behind that fire rod. So everything he's done, and that fire rod behind the bow. So everything was behind the bow. Because Pyramid Fairy got you your cane, and Pyramid Fairy was Skull Woods, which meant and things behind the mirror as well. Pyramid Fairy got your cane, and then your bow and your boots behind the mirror that we found at Magic Bat. Okay, Relkin about to be done. Yeah, the book getting us into desert.
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling the desert right side, honestly.
It's one of our few checks left right now, so
Yeah.
I think that's right.
So Relkin done with Turtle Rock.
And at this point, Teto knows that besides cleaning up Eastern and Pod right now, you've got a lot of scattered checks.
Yep. Okay, so Relkin probably going to head over to desert. Probably going to go do it by way of Bombos Tablet.
And that'll give us our official right side Desert Palace play. I'm trying to think if there is anything else that we've missed that it could be.
I mean, it could still be Ped if Ice Rod shows up. All those little things like that, but it's going to be behind, even if it's not in right side desert or in Ether Tablet or one of those Zora checks. It's going to be behind one of those things. And with Relkin just not having a whole lot of things that he has left to do, it's hard to imagine a world in which Teto gets to it first.
True. And if you do
and the only way he gets to it first is if he doesn't do Pod Eastern yet, in which case now you're doing Pod Eastern, and you're not saving any time there because you've already. I mean, you're not losing extra time there, but you already spent time in both those dungeons.
Right. My suspicion is if you do get a Ice Rod off of Desert Palace, you just go right back to Turtle Rock when you're done with Desert.
I would argue. I might argue do the Zora checks first.
You could, for
I
sure.
mean, I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen them earlier. It feels like it'd be a bit of a defensive play to just, just in case your opponent did it, you don't want to have missed him there. I would definitely do Ether Tablet first, because you're going to be up there anyway.
Very, very true.
Yeah, and Tato is going to go ahead and look here on the right side of desert. I like this call. This, if it's here, it's going to get him his boots first. Sorry, his flute first. But again, still has to do Pot Eastern, and I can't imagine that Relkin skips this. Probably going to do the back. Well, this is a guaranteed item for him, so he could choose to. No, he's going to go ahead and do the back first, in hopes that Landmo has the item,
Right.
which makes a lot of sense. But it is guaranteed to be at least one item.
Right. It's like the back of Swamp. You're one item from go mode. You just kind
Yep.
of hold off until you need to.
And nice hook speed, or I guess that was hook speed, off the. That's a scary one because you could just fall right off.
Which I do half the time trying to do it there. Okay.
And there it is.
There it is. Okay.
So ironically, Teto is our first runner in go mode, but he's got 2 dungeons to clear, and I just don't see Relkin abandoning that check after he finishes this dungeon. Like, for Teto to really have a chance, Relkin has to skip this right side item.
I'd say at this point, if I had to throw out a guess, I'd say Teto's probably being behind by 2.5 to 3 minutes at this point, maybe a bit more. I mean, you do get to go mode the rest of Eastern, you get to go mode the rest of Pod, so those are going to be quick, but you still got to wait for all the fanfare, mirroring, stuff like that, so.
Yep.
And all Relkin has to do is try to go mode Meyer as much as you can and go straight up to GT because you've got your silvers and you've got tempered, so the seed's not going to be any nicer except maybe half magic.
Yep. Tato's one. The one saving grace for Teto is now he's still behind, but he's not behind by nearly as much as could have happened. In which case, it keeps him in the running if we get the 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. For the other runners. It's a tough place to be because, you've got some really good runners waiting to play. But it doesn't immediately eliminate him. Whereas, if he lost by... I mean, technically he still wouldn't be immediately eliminated. Right. But if he lost by a ton of time, then it just... The chance of even getting that tiebreaker would be very slim. It's still very slim, but, he's hanging on by a thread, I guess would be the best way to put it. Relkin is going to get this flute. He's just going to get this flute and go. Activate it, save and quit, activate it, and head straight to Misery Mire.
And I forgot, we already found a half magic. We don't get half magic, so we're
going to check that as we nothing. Can. We have, there's literally nothing we could pick up that's of any use at this point.
Okay, now's about the time we're going to be able to find out what the true differential is as soon as pretty much Relkin mirrors or flutes to the Meyer area.
Yeah, first he's got to activate it. And then he'll flute straight over there. We have all the medallions, so we don't even need to check the area.
So despite Teto finding that mirror almost an hour, I think, maybe 45 minutes to an hour after Relkin, not far behind.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the seed kind of dictated that. And just a reminder, when the idea, Teto didn't skip the flute in Desert. Desert is boots locked. It's just soft boots locked, so you can still beat the dungeon. But it is boots locked because we, as I always like to say, if you're ever wondering about a key logic, if you have two doors available and one small key, which is essentially what happens in Desert because you can steal that key from the back, then the things that you're going to are not in logic. So killing Landmo was not in logic there. You do it anyway because it's a crystal and you have to. Right. But it also means that there's another item there that you might have to get later.
And most of the time it will not bite you doing that, but the game always just assumes that you're going to use the keys in the dumbest way possible.
Right.
So It's one of the reasons why, for instance, the backup pod in Key Sanity, I believe, is just plain old locked for the most part until you get 6 small keys.
Well, some of it's by yeah. The back is 4, and then the dark maze, the harmless hellway, the big key chest. Those are all locked by 6, and of
Right.
course the boss. And so far, not a great Misery Mire. We get a small key in the spike room.
Okay, Teto's just got to go clean up Eastern Palace, and he'll be on his way to Mire.
And another small key.
Oh, okay. This basically guarantees the big key is going to be either at the Firelock chest or main lobby or the chest just to the left of the big key
It,
chest.
I mean, there's all the possibilities are there. We have 3 more locations where the big key can be. If this is not a small key, you have to decide whether or not to do the cutscene. When you're not in this situation, even if this isn't a small key, I might bet on cutscene just because it cannot be a small key unless this is the big key, or you just get the big key in the compass room and you don't have to worry about it. But if you've already got 2 small keys and cutscene can't be the third one, then maybe you just do it. But in this case, we got the big key before we had to make that decision, and it's not the Godmire, but it's pretty darn close.
Right. It's about as almost as it's basically bronze medal Godmire, if you will.
There you go.
It's like not the bridge chest, it's not the spike chest, but it's a close third place.
Now the funny part is if you're gonna rank them gold, silver, bronze, it depends on whether you're a hoverer or not. Because if you're a hoverer, you want that bridge chest, you just hover across, and if you're a not hoverer, then you want it to be in the spike chest.
True. Yeah, looks like Relkin pulling off the Buki action pretty darn easily. And then accidentally shooting a spire right at the top there. Okay, six crystal for Teto. Sorry.
And we'll get a nice quick Vitreous with those silver arrows.
Looks like about a 3 to 4 minute difference here, give or take.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, anybody who's in chat, it's about time to play a game. What do you think? Or do we play this on this channel? I don't even know.
I mean, we can. If people want to put numbers down.
Oh, and welcome welcome Raiders from Solski, and a little bit earlier as well. We're finishing up here. Feel free to put numbers in chat. 1 to 22. Where do you think that big key is in GT?
Not behind. It's behind that dead rock. Oh my god!
But just far enough off the screen that he was able to despawn him.
Yeah, usually that's the quickest way to deal with that. If you can get the dead rocks to despawn.
So this was a pretty close race overall. It just ended up being Teto checked the magic bat a little bit too late. It was mirrored.
I mean, in all fairness, this race ended up being a lot closer than it was looking like it was going to be.
It did.
With the Teto making the smart play, following those boots right back into a boots locked desert palace.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of incentive for him to necessarily go to that location as opposed to the mirror locations he hadn't done yet, the ether tablet. We still never saw Zora.
Right. And not doing a few checks caught up some time as well. You had Relkin doing both left side swamp and also doing Mimic Cave, which took 2.5 minutes, probably almost between the two.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely loses time. They both basically full clear Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Which, all we needed out of Turtle Rock was that book. That's it.
Yeah, which was right side Fire Rod locked. Which still at the time, Teto did not have that mirror. which
Yeah.
locked technically the fire rod, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did because the mirror
Oh,
locked the bow, locked the fire rod in pod. Mirror locked the bow, and swamp locked the fire rod in pod.
fire rod
Relkin
lock.
going to the right, going right first.
Okay.
Map for number one. Bombs for number two. He's gonna have to mirror out. Can't continue on to the right. So GT also technically boots locked, though not hard boots locked with that small key sitting on the torch.
It's rude having a pseudo boot seed that actually requires boots.
You know, that's, I've discussed this with other people. The thing that I dislike the most about pseudo boots is it kind of makes the actual boots kind of a bad item.
Right? Just more checks.
Yeah, I mean, we already could move fast, you know?
It's good for hovers. That's about it.
We can't hover with pseudo boots.
Right. I'm just meaning like regular boots just make it better for hovers.
Oh, okay, I see.
And
Yeah, I
yeah,
see what you're saying. In the meantime, that's
7,
eight.
8,
Eight, because, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, eight because
8,
of the torch.
which I forgot to include. Okay, get that vitreous fight underway for Teto or Tito. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I know
Yeah,
he's from.
I've always heard Teto, and I apologize if I've gotten that wrong.
Now, Teto sounds better than Teto to me, so I apologize, Teto, if we've been mispronouncing your name.
There's the ice rod. So Ped was never even going to be in logic.
Hey,
That's
we
fun.
got our 11th heart, though.
Woohoo!
Oh, it's potato, but without the po. So, Tato, you're right.
Nice. Thanks, Jossie. Now, this gets a little bit interesting with this late big key. If Tato goes to the right first, or maybe even does a tile room gamble, I think it would have to be a tile room gamble at this point.
Yeah, tile
But it is gonna,
room.
it's gonna, if it's not back here, if it is on the right side at all, he could gain time. He'd have to do the Dark Magician style route where you do the Stalfos room first, because we didn't have keys to go further to the right side.
Right.
But it's just vanilla.
Starring you, Vanilla Big Key.
So let's see.
2, 6, 7, 8.
22 minus 6 is 16.
Sounds right. That would have been 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 13.
No, it'd be 22 minus 7 because we had the 4 encompass room, tile room, and then 2 more chests in the vanilla big key area. So that's actually 15. 15
Yeah,
was your winner.
15 sounds about
Congratulations, you said 15. Counting is hard.
right. Counting is difficult, especially when it's so late. I'm just trying to use that excuse. I'm on the West Coast. It's only 6 p.m. for me, but that's okay. All right, so Tato in GT looks like we could very well see the Dark Magician strat going.
Yeah. Unfortunately, probably gonna mirror out of the Stalfos room, and since nobody does the true Dark Magician route, which says keep going right, go full right after this,
Right.
he's gonna be very, very late to that big key.
Well, no Stalfos kill. We're mirroring out. Which means Dark Magician may have been the fastest route. Yeah, I'll be pushing it, I guess. But check-wise, it'd be pretty much faster.
It also depends on how good you are doing some of the rooms that are along that route, because some of those rooms are really annoying.
True. Thankfully, these runners have what, blue cane, cave, so it wouldn't be too bad for them. But it'd be less magic for the climb.
Okay, relkin finishing off Landmo 2.
With ease.
We get to the fun wizard rooms. And there's literally nothing he could possibly get to make this better. So not gonna check anything along the climb. No gold sword available, no half magic available. We already got our 2 bottles.
Exactly. Just $605 on right side. And both these runners already turned down a 300, pal.
Besides, he doesn't need the refill there because, I mean, he's got, 9.5 hearts anyway, so that should be fine.
Yeah, it should be okay. Okay. Agonometry war is going on, as is said. And Aga gets kind of lazy, just stays put. Shoots a blue ball.
That's a nice... that's not an easy double. So that was very nicely done there.
No kidding.
Yeah, you weren't getting... That pattern was just bad. I don't know if you could even get a double out of that. Of course, with the blue ball, you can't get a triple. Does finish him off. I think that might have actually been a triple to finish it.
That was close to. I think he only had 2 hits left, but that was the only triple.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Right, and that was the only triple that Aga gave him. Everything else was like, here's a potential triple, but with a blue ball. Good luck.
Yeah. And time for the Aga fight. That's fine for the Ganon fight. That's kind of funny because you were saying Ganon for Aga earlier, so now I said Aga for Ganon. So I guess we're even.
You got this.
All right, Teto gets his big key. We'll head on up to the climb.
About 5 or 6 minutes bad at this point, give or take. And Aga was not friendly. Just like that, we're rolling out to the final phase of Ganon coming up here.
And there's that last hit.
All right, chat, get your GGs in. GG's to Relkin.
And that'll put him at 1-0. Still 2 matches to be played for him. So it's a good start. Teto gonna fall to 0-2, and we'll have to win his last match and get a lot of help if he wants to have any shot at advancing. And that official time is 1:38:15.
Okay, but unlike the tournament, runners are trying to finish regardless, simply because if you forfeit, there's a huge time penalty, and your losses can still matter with a time differential.
Right.
So
So Tato, hanging on by a slim thread, like I said, needs to win his last match and get a whole lot of help in order to have any shot at advancing. But if he forfeited here, then it'd just be basically no chance whatsoever, unless the other 1-2 is all forfeited as well. But if you're trying to get that spot at 1-2, you're not forfeiting. Um, if you know that somebody else has, so it'd be effectively the end. So he is going to finish this up.
and it looks like we'll be getting an interview from Relkin here momentarily. Your uncle deals drugs. Well, that's not very safe, uncle.
Bad influence. Also, it's just a piece of heart at Zora if we'd ever gotten there. For those of you that you had to know.
Pizza Heart.
And Relkin joining us. GG's.
GG's, Relkin.
Thank you. This seed, just like, I didn't know what to think.
I mean, what was really funny though, you went to Magic Bat, and when you went there, there was the possibility that could have been a glove to allow you to just skip Aga. And then you ended up getting the mirror. So yeah, and that ended up being such a huge. I mean, it wasn't just you getting the mirror; it was you getting the mirror and Tato following the rabbit hole of sequence breaking pod for a fire rod.
I see. Yeah, he told me that he did Bola's Pod and did a Skullwoods early, and then didn't have Bombos for Aga Tower. Didn't have I think he. Oh, let me see what he said here. Did Deep Desert for nothing, and did Smith without the mirror. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was, like I said, very, very late to that mirror, which hurt him in those checks. But I think it might have hurt him more that he sequence broke that fire rod. Because without it, maybe he gets to that mirror sooner. That fire rod, just everything was behind fire rod and mirror. Because the fire rod locked the pyramid fairy, which locked the cane, which locked the book to get into desert, which locked your flute. But also you had the mirror for your boots and your bow. It's just
Right.
the chains were pretty crazy. And he just kept following them, and just it just was out of logic most of the seed.
I see. Yeah. I'm glad that I was at least stumbling upon the items, but I definitely felt that I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how Teto likes to play. And he was already down 0-1, so he might have been playing more aggressive and trying to do some skips. So I honestly didn't know how to feel.
But yeah, so when you went to the Magic Bat, was that the I really want to not do Aga? Or, it could have been just, can I get anything better?
So I did that because if you do South Shore early, you get the hammer and the powder. So you could do that before Eastern, and therefore I wanted to make sure I had whatever was there before I went to Aga.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, the Bombos just was really, again, I guess you did that really early because you did I'm going to just do a Gina right away instead of going to Mini Moldorm. So,
exactly.
And that Bombos, Tato took a death in Aga Tower. He was on 4 hearts, which was one more than you had, but you also were able to bail yourself out with that Bombos, which is, 3 hearts, green mail. 3 hearts, green mail, Aga Tower is not free, especially with only a fighter sword.
Yeah, it's super scary. I'm wondering if maybe he didn't skip a heart piece that I skipped, and therefore he had 4 hearts.
Yeah, he also had blue mail from the Waterfall Fairy.
He did Waterfall. Okay.
Yeah, he did Waterfall, but we never saw any of the rest of Zora.
Also just took a death at Ganon, unfortunately. A little hug from Teto to Ganon.
Yeah, so it certainly was an interesting whole interesting seed. Just the chains there. It is one of those things where I always like to say, you still need to know that Ice Palace bomb jump, because you do not want to have to do Ice Palace the developer intended way if the Cane of Samaria is not available. So you both had to show that off.
Right, but my plan was just to do Catfish and Ice and just let the chips fall where they may. And I did Waterfall before Ice as well. I did not mean to skip the Zora area. I kind of got distracted by I don't know what, but I meant to do Zora and Zora Ledge, but I just forgot in the moment and just
Mhm.
mirrored and saved to quit.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. The other interesting part was when you went into pod. There was only one thing in pod you needed, and it was the thing you got to last, just because that's the way your route worked out.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very, very good on you to make sure you got that last item.
Yeah. If that's like the rare pod layout where you get the big key first chest and you go down right side. And if you get 2 keys, you go ahead and kill Helma.
Yeah.
And then you go to the back. You start with, since you have mirror, you can easily do the Stalfos basement first, and then go to that bridge chest, then go to the back.
Yep.
They both were keys, so the big key chest could have had another key, not
Could've.
likely, but it could have had an item. So
Yep.
did the
Could have
rest
had
of the
map or
back.
compass too. Like it was.
Exactly.
There were the other things it could be, so it was reasonable to try and put it off. But good thing you did go back in. We also have Teto joining us as he finishes up
Right.
on stream. With an official time of 1:45:11, so GG's to Teto finishing it out.
He finally did it. Good morning and GG's.
GG's Teto, long time no chat. How are you?
Oh yeah, like ages. It's I'm fine. I'm fine. I mean it's 3:30 a.m. currently. So whoops.
Oof. I hope you don't have to work early in the morning.
Yeah, playing against Ari is like working tomorrow in the morning. So
So
Fair enough.
How about that mirror, Teto?
yeah, it's bad luck. I mean, the final four in this tournament, it's like, whoa, there's relkin, Hamburg, there's Ari, and it's me, why ever? And at this point, you just have to after you lost your first match, it's like, oh, you need 2 wins to have a good shot, because
Yeah.
if I lost today match, it's 1 win against Ari. The first thing you have to do, and Ari had to lose another match to get the 1-3 tie breaks it in a scenario. That's so yeah.
You're hanging by a thread.
Yeah,
at
and
this point.
it's like, oh, the seed isn't looking that great. Okay, Eastern it's fine. Let's play Aga. Let's hope Relkin goes for those slow checks and not getting rewarded. Of course he did. That's
I mean, he
random.
went for this.
It's
You
fine.
got the first part of that puzzle right. He did go for the slow check.
Yeah,
But he did get rewarded, so it didn't
Yeah,
work out so well.
But right after the death in Castle Tower, it's like another 2-minute time loss, and
Yep.
you maybe catched up 1 or 2 minutes, but you lost another 2. And Relkin, everyone is a great execution player here. So like, my execution isn't on point. Let's try to make magic happen, and let's go after the south route towards digging game to port. Whoops!
Yep.
It's instantly ball locked. Finding
and
the firewood and push your luck after the firewood.
Yeah, and that fire rod, I really think that was the biggest part in all of this, is because you sequence broke the fire rod, and with everything in the seed being behind the fire rod and/or the mirror, it just kept you going down the rabbit hole and further away from getting the mirror that you needed.
Yeah, I hope that I get maybe the mirror or the flute, so it's like maybe 1 item leading to the bow, instantly the bow somewhere on the smith chain or wherever it's currently left. But not really. After getting the book, it was like, so yeah, I just want 1 item right now, and I will go back in logic, but I want 1 item. So Desert Palace, you get nothing out of it, and I knew I will go instantly back with boots, but
and that was a good
everything
call.
at the same spot.
Ironically, you actually got into go mode a little bit sooner than Relkin did, because you went straight back to the desert check with the boots, but unfortunately still had to do pod and Eastern.
Yeah.
Whereas Relkin just, remembered to go back and get those boots after killing Landmo, or sorry, get that check after killing Landmo, and was in go mode shortly thereafter, and was able to just flute too, or just activate the flute, do Mire, and be done.
Yeah, and you with all those weird item placement, it's like, yeah, maybe he got all the mirror chain earlier. Maybe he went for left side swamp. He did the purple chest thing. So I knew that in the end, we both had maybe more or less the same time consuming route. Mine was a little bit more lucky with all those sequence break going on, of course. But yeah, my execution wasn't on point. So in the end, it's totally okay that I lost the race.
I mean, no matter what happens the rest of this tournament, not a lot of people can say that they beat Eri with Eri having a sub 1. So I mean that was pretty
I
crazy that
I
race.
I still
Yeah.
I gotta hand it to you, Teto. Like that was really insane. GG's on that, by the way.
Oh, thanks. But it's like you need one of those 1 in a million seeds, and I hit two of
And
those
you
currently, so that's
well, you need the 1 in a million seed, but you also need to actually hit the jet route.
yeah,
That
that's
was a friend of mine messaged me after you guys played that. It was like, "What did you see what happened?" I'm like, "No, what happened?" He's like, "I don't know, but look at the times." I'm just like, "Oh my god!" So I actually went back and watched that race. I had to see how that could happen, and
I'll need a
it
link
was
to
a
that
pretty good
race.
watch.
I need a link to that one. That sounds good.
yeah. I mean, I'm currently streaming in the overlay with Cam, and it's like so. Oh God, I'm shaking. It's really so. Oh, don't mess up right now. It's going to be a fast one. Yeah, but I mean, it was week 2. It was a great week, and week 3 is like back to reality. And winning and losing sometimes is close together. And in the
Oh
main
yeah,
tournament, you
absolutely.
get a win with a little bit more luck. And yesterday and currently today against Relkin, it's like you make mistakes, the seed make mistakes, and that's fair. That's fair enough.
All right. Well, GG's to Relkin. Good luck to both of you moving forward. Relkin 1-0, but still, got 2 really tough matches ahead of you. Tato, sad to see you go if does turn out that way, but definitely a
Hey,
good
it's
run get here.
both will forfeit, and I will I will
Yeah,
move
see,
into the
there you go.
finals
There
Yeah,
you
with
yeah,
go.
with
there you
one
go.
two.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it's
So you're saying there's a
but
chance, right?
Oh man.
yeah, just
We
just
did.
meeting with 10 minutes tomorrow, so everything is back and fine.
Yeah, I mean, we did have, we had a couple 1-2s in the first round get through, so like,
Uh,
stranger things have happened, but yeah,
I was one of the lucky guys with 1-2 in the first week. I should never see week 2 at this point. So
Okay, well then you're playing with house money, and it's good
yeah,
to, it's
Heck
neat to eat that.
yeah. Heck
yeah,
yeah,
that's
Teto.
Nothing wrong with that.
so. But every streak is going to that, and welcome, best of luck in the next 2 races, and
Thank you, buddy. And good luck against Airy. And it would be, dude. I would not mind at all if you somehow came
Well,
back from 0-2.
I mean at least getting a win, maybe putting Airy in a bad spot. I mean I don't mind. That's random. That's competitive rando, and
yeah, there you
we're
go.
not going just for tactics. It's like you want to win, right? That's rando.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. All right. Anything else either one of you wants to add before we go ahead and close this out?
Yeah, thanks for the trackers. I mean, best people out there, and of course both of you for commentating this match.
Yeah, yeah.
Guys,
I
we're there
like
for us.
I like the mark of Aga killed before you actually killed him. But I mean, you were gonna do it, so
I'm tracking manually, so I track everything I'm going to do and hope that
yeah,
I don't
I
forget
do
to
the
do
same.
it. So yeah.
I do I do some more things, and in
So,
Relkin it was rather amusing because your tracker was a little bit ahead, and it was most notable when you got the mirror. As the mirror pops up, and then mirror at
oh,
Magic Bad.
that sounds like a restream issue.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. But it was pretty
Oh,
funny.
I'll have to watch that back. That's kind of funny. Anyways, but yeah, echoing what Tato said, yes, absolutely. Thank you for you, Lana and Tracy, for comms, and thank you for the tracking as well.
Yeah, those
Magic
Care
Pixie
Bears.
Dust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those Care Bears getting put to work today. I don't know if you've got this dream up right now,
Oh,
but
I see
tracking
now.
17 Care Bear stairs.
17 Care Bear stairs.
Love it.
Dunka doing a
Oh.
nice job getting creative with those trackers.
Speaking of Dunka, thank you, Dunka, as well, once again for this event. So yeah, big shouts to him.
All
And that's
right.
all I got.
Oh, yep. So, okay, that'll do it for us. Lana, thank you for joining me on commentary. Always a good time. And of course, our runners, I don't think we have the command, but do give them a follow. And of course, thank you to Dunka for putting all this on and doing the restream behind the scenes and all that good stuff. Lana, you got anything else?
Just a quick mention, of course, Irai and Tato have a match coming up at 3 a.m. tomorrow. I don't know if that's midnight my time or 3 a.m. Eastern. I don't even know. It's early.
It's 6 p.m. 6 a.m. EDT, so
Yes.
coming up right in 8 hours and a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I
Yeah.
don't think I'll be up for that.
8 hours.
no,
8 hours, 25 minutes.
But I do believe we got someone to cover that one, so it will be aired. I want to. I'm not gonna. I'll get it wrong if I try and say who, but I think it is going to be covered here. So for those of you that are awake, it'll be on.
That's about it. Otherwise, I just echo. Thank you very much, Tracy. It was wonderful. Thank you both, Tato and Relkin, for putting on such a fantastic show for us. It was fantastic. It was a very fun watch.
And Tato, try and get you some good sleep.
Thanks for that.
All right.
Good night.
night.
And
Yeah,
thanks
good night,
again.
everyone.
Good night,
See ya.
everybody.